What's going on? Craig Bennett, aka Cashcade, coming at you. Gonna do a first look for Tuesday's slate. NBA playoffs, day 2. 4-gamer again. Got some nice tournaments. Definitely gonna attack them. If you're watching me over at Twitch on Cashcade, please give me a follow. Keep pumping out these videos if you like them. If you're watching it on YouTube, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll keep pumping out these videos, some showdown videos. Gonna do another prop bet video tonight. We're 3-0 in props. Got one remaining in the Clipper Dallas game tonight, so hopefully we can get a full sweep and then hit her again for tomorrow. But if you're not a part of DFS Army, head on over there, dfsarmy.com. Use promo code CashCake, save yourself 20%, and we will keep pumping out content. Cheat sheets are going to be out. Probably knock them out tonight, early morning. Again, some great games so far today. Had a couple really good calls. Had a couple calls that didn't go our way. The Mitchell fade was hard to watching Denver. Just absolutely not guard him and have him go the rim like he did. Put up a monster game. Did call the TLC game, though. He put up over 30 points and really low ownership. So we just get back on the saddle and hit it again, you know. Again, when you're making these calls and how you see the game kind of going, that's part of it. But yeah, let's dive right into this bad boy and let's talk about tomorrow's slate. All right, tomorrow's slate. I don't think it's quite as good. We do have some injury news on tomorrow's slate, but it's a weird one in some games. I kind of like today's slate a little bit better, but neither here nor there. We got Orlando playing Milwaukee, 225.5 over under. Milwaukee's favored by 12. Some of the injury news we got to look at. Evan Fournier is back from illness, so he should play. They're going to need it. Milwaukee gives up points from threes, so Terrence Ross is also active. They're going to need their shooting to even keep this thing close, so that's really big. The big one is Aaron Gordon. He's questionable. Don't know if he's going to play. He's got a hamstring injury, so those can kind of linger a little bit. Michael Carter-Williams is out for Orlando, so we got to watch that. Ilya Sova's out for Milwaukee, but again, that's not really big news. They're fully healthy. They're a deep team, so that's not massive news. But Orlando side, we got to watch Gordon, because if Gordon plays, he's going to be all over Giannis. I don't know who they'll put on Giannis if we don't see Gordon out there. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of bodies to even throw at him, so Giannis is just going to absolutely dominate. I don't know if it's probably Wandu, I would guess. They really don't have anyone to put on him. Gordon would be their best bet. So bum hamstring, even if he does play, it's going to be a quick series. I think it's going to be a 4-0 sweep here. But first, let's look. We'll use FanDuel again just because it's a little bit easier to talk to the players. We'll first look on the Bucks side. Again, I think with this game kind of blowing out, I think it's basically, Giannis coming off that one-game suspension on a headbutt of Wagner. That was kind of funny. 11K. The thing is he going to get you there? And, Giannis can put up 60, 65 points in an absolute hurry. So, he's in play. Middleton at 7K, too cheap. Bledsoe, he struggled big time last year in the playoffs. I'm not a big fan of him. On a 4-game slate, you want to have a little bit, but he's got to show me something when he's up towards 6K and just how he's been. Brook Lopez, 5,800. That's a little interesting here at center. I think you can. I think he can go in there and get some rebounds and points and maybe stretch the floor a little bit against Vooch. But yeah, I'm not going to mess around too much with Milwaukee. It's basically those three guys. And like I said, if you want a little bit of Bledsoe, if you want to take a shot maybe at a George Hill or a Pat Connaughton or DiVincenzo and GPPs, but other than that, I don't have a whole lot of interest outside of Giannis, Middleton, and Lopez. On the Magic side, Vucevic 7,900 is a little expensive. Those threes, exactly. Gordon at 6,600. Again, I have a hard time playing some of these guys that are expensive on this side of the ball because I just think they're going to get absolutely waxed here. Fultz at 5,500. I don't know if I can even go there. The price is, creeping up where he's going to need a lot of run. Don't know how much run he's going to get. Terrence Ross coming back at 5,400. Fournier's probably in roster probably my two guys that I like the most, just because Milwaukee gives up those threes. So those are the two guys that I have most interest in. Fournier probably more of a cash piece. Again, he's coming off of illness, but I still, they're going to have these guys shoot really well to stay in this game. So those are the two pieces I'm looking at. We could see some more run from DJ Augustin. At 4,500 is a cheap price tag. With no Michael Carter Williams, he should see a little bit more run. If Gordon doesn't go, we could look at James Ennis here. He could get in there and get the start again at 4K. Maybe they get blown out and they want to play a little bit of Birch at 3,800 and get some garbage time. But it's a tough game, man. I think they're going to get waxed. I'm going to stick around just a Fournier Ross, those two guys, and kind of not touch this game too much. I think the next game is where we're going to look at. It's going to be the better competitive game and a game I think that we want to attack a little bit more. So into that, we've got Miami at Indiana. This game is sitting at a 216 over-under with Miami favored by 4. Now, injuries we got in this game, we have, I don't think we have, only on Miami side is Jay Crowder's active and Derek Jones Jr. He had that nasty fall on his neck where they had to be, I think he took a stretcher to take him off. He's questionable, so I doubt we see him, and I wouldn't want to play him anyways. And then TJ Warren's questionable on the other side. He might just be a little scared because Butler has it out for him. And I wouldn't want to play TJ Warren regardless when you get Butler in the playoffs and he already doesn't like you. So if Warren does sit, though, it does open up some more minutes. But, again, it's more just the backups that would play for him, like Holiday would be in play then. But we got to see. I don't want to play Warren regardless. So let's go in here and start with the Heat side. Again, Jimmy Butler at 7,800. No problem paying that price tag. They're in the playoffs. They need to win. Bam Bam, 7,500. No problem playing him. Dragic's been really hot in the bubble. I think that continues. I think he continues to put up big games. If we see here in the bubble, he's got, in 30 minutes, 32, 21 minutes in OKC, put up 36. Earlier in the bubble, we're talking 31 points, 42, 31. So really good price tag on him. I really like Dragic. Hero and Nunn. Probably see Nunn starting again. He had a big layoff, so he played a ton of minutes and got a ton of shots up that last game. It's 32 minutes, saw a ton of shots. Didn't hit a whole lot, but still put up big numbers here. I don't see that. I think this is more of a Dragic game, but 4,800, he's definitely interesting. And Hero can always get hot, but that shooting guard position, I'd much rather play Butler here. And then I can't really look at, they're just so deep with Miami, they got Iggy, which they brought him in for the playoffs here. Jay Crowder, Kelly Olynyk, 4,200. He's interesting GPP play because he can go off at times. So I'm not, he's not a cash piece ever. Duncan Robinson, 4,300. He's another GPP play. Cheap that can hit their ceilings at times. But I think I'm most excited about Dragic on this side. Bam and Butler. But Dragic's probably my number one just for point per dollar. On the Indiana side, again, we talked about TJ Warren. If he is unable to go, then we're going to see probably Justin Holiday again. He's probably going to get a ton of run. Brogdon, 6,800, too cheap. I think we're going to see a ton of minutes out of him. Yeah, he had that neck issue, but I'm not too worried about it. Depot, 6,100. I'll never play Miles Turner. I just can't do it. That guy. I've lit so much money on fire playing the guy, and he rarely has like a monster game. So I would stick to playing Brogdon at that. Doug McDermott, 4,300 getting off the bench. We just have to see. If Warren's out, they make these guys interesting. Probably more of Justin Holiday is going to be more of chalk. That can end badly for you, but it's a guy you kind of have to look at. TJ McConnell off the bench, 3,800. I always have interest in him just because he can get things going. You know, he's kind of he runs things on that second unit, and he's got very consistent in his minutes. You don't see a ton of minutes, but if he sees in the high teens, low 20s, you know, to put up 24, 28, 27, 31, he can get it done. So I would want a little bit of him in my pool, and I would want nobody else here. That's about it. I don't think Aaron Holiday at 4,100 is a little interesting. Again, he burnt people big time. I think it was against Houston here where he saw 25 minutes and start and put up 7 fantasy points. Then came back out off the bench in 17 minutes in the last game where they were just running all a bunch of turds, and he put up 23. So I'd have a splash of him. I don't think they're going to play Sumner a ton, so I wouldn't look at that. Let's head over to the next game. This should be a fun one. OKC and the Thunder. Let's see if there's a line on this. 227 over under with OKC favored by 1 or 1.5 in some spots. I kind of like OKC to win this series, to be honest with you. The injury news that we got, and we all know it, is we're not going to have Westbrook. Westbrook is out. And he's not going to be coming back for, I think, till at least the 20th, they said. I mean, talked about he was going to be out the whole first series. I think they're probably going to have to see how the first couple games go, I would assume. But, again, with Westbrook out, we know Harden's got almost a 50% usage rate, 11-5. He's going to shoot some more. No problem. You can play, you know, I don't need to talk you into playing Harden. He's just expensive. We'll have to see how lineup construction goes. I'll do another lineup construction video tomorrow around noon. And once I get a better feel of the slate. But 11-5 on FanDuel. Expensive. But again, he's got all the usage in the world. Big shot Rob here. Rob Covington, 7K over on FanDuel. He'll definitely be in the pool. He's going to see a ton of minutes. Going to have to pick up some offense without Westbrook out there. They do got Eric Gordon back at 4,500. He's an interesting piece. You know, the last 2 games I saw 20 and 23 minutes. He'll probably get ramped up more into the high 20s. At 4,500, I think you got to play him. You know, if they start trying to stop Harden. But he's just a shooter. He does nothing else but shoot. Austin Rivers can luck box into a game. Jeff Green at 4,100. House is going to play here. I think, pretty sure I saw that he is active. Yeah, House is active this game. On the other side, Dort is out, but that's not too big a deal. But with House active, 4,100 or 4,000, I love that. But the big thing with Gordon coming back, it takes a lot of shots away from House. But one of these guys are going to have to score, and they're all extremely cheap. So I don't really like Tucker. He's 3,700. He just doesn't do a whole lot. I would rather take a chance, you know, for a little bit more and play Kelly Olynyk that has higher upside than Tucker. If Tucker beats me, then oh well. Like I said, Jeff Green, they're just a bunch of shooters who shoot threes. So I think all these are GPP plays, McLemore, but, you know, they're all cheap. They're not all going to go off. I think if I was going to have Harden with one, I'd only pair him with maybe one. I don't think they're all going to go off, but they're all really, really cheap. On the Thunder side of the ball, Chris Paul, man, playoffs, he is too cheap, 7,200. They do have Dennis Schroeder back after with his baby. So 5,700 is way too cheap for Dennis Schroeder, especially against Houston. His team loves to run and chuck. I love this side of the ball. You know, everybody will look at Harden and that side. I love this side of the ball. Again, 5,700 for him, 6,900 for Gilgeous-Alexander. So SGA, he's burned us a bunch. I think with Schroeder back, it kind of hurts the ceiling a little bit. I think Chris Paul's my favorite, followed by Schroeder. Steven Adams at 5,400. He had some injuries through the bubble that he didn't play a ton. You look at the last 5 games, you know, saw 6 minutes in that last game, 19, and then didn't play the last 3. So I do worry a little bit about how many minutes he's going to see, but they have nobody to stop him down there. If he does start and we're going to hear that he gets 30 minutes at 5,400, I mean, he's going to get a double-double pretty damn easily, just the putbacks. Gallinari at 5,200, squarely in play, just too cheap. Baisley had some monster games. And with Dort out, I don't think they're going to give a massive run. But I mean, we're talking 25, 42, 43, 34, 22. Schroeder was out a lot of these games as well. But with Dort out, maybe a GPP play, but I wouldn't chase those big points. When the rotation is going to be minutes are going to be just, I don't know if he's going to get them. I just don't. So I would just look at those guys. There's nobody down here that I love besides CP3, Schroeder, SGA, and if we know he's going to get 25, 30 minutes, then Gallinari. Baisley, I'd have to see and dig up some information on him. But yeah, I really like this OKC side of the ball, and might have to dig up and see if there's what the props look like, because I got 2 props, but I don't have anything on OKC, and I was looking. I might have to look a little bit more. Let's head over to the nightcap game, and man, Portland, boy, their defense is horrendous. Boy, they can put up some points, but man, they just bleed points all over. This is a 230 over under with the Lakers favored by 5.5. Rondo is doubtful. He's not going to play Tuesday. They'll wait. I don't see him playing even this round. But AD and LeBron James are probable. This is the playoffs. They're here to win a championship. So let's see here. Let's first start on the Lakers side of the ball. AD 10K, LeBron James 10-3. You can play him, man. I think I would rather lean AD this first game, but both are squarely in play. Kyle Kuzma 6,300 is expensive, but I think that they're going to, this is their, the third score basically on this team. And in that last game against Denver, when they played basically their full rotation, what they played in the playoffs, he saw 32 minutes, put up 41 fantasy points. He came on strong that game. So he's going to have some upside, 41 points. There's 28, 42. But he's also going to have 13 and 11s in there as well. So he's risky. It's hard to trust him in cash, but in tournaments, he better be in there. Danny Green, my boy Danny Green, 3,900. Nobody that I love to play, but cheap, going to shoot some threes. JaVale McGee, 3,600. I think if they are going to run McGee, I think is just too skinny, honestly, for he's super athletic, don't get me wrong, and he'd probably start, but I don't think he's going to see a ton of minutes. That's the problem with McGee. They'll start him, and then they'll throw AD down there. So I think this might be more of a Howard game. It's going to be AD and Howard because, when we get over to the Trailblazers side and going up against Nurkic, they're going to need a little bit more girth up there. So this could be a sneaky Howard game. Definitely wouldn't do it in cash, but if we get 20, 25 minutes out of Howard to match up against Nurkic, I don't know. But they're both too cheap, McGee and Howard. But like I said, they can run AD down at the 5 pretty easily. They're just a big team. So that's about it. I wouldn't look at any of these guys. It's basically LeBron James and AD. Like I said, a little bit of Kuzma, but I'm not going to pick and choose which one of the Lakers are going to score. On the other side of the ball, 10-1 for Dame. I know Dame's been balling out and just putting the team on his back, but man, his legs, you got to be getting tired. I don't know if I can play 10-1 on a slate when we have Giannis and AD and, playoff LeBron James. He'll be in my pool, but he wouldn't be the first guy I look at. Nurkic, 8,400. Massive game. When his grandmother died, 40 minutes he played against Memphis in that do-or-die game. Put up 63 points. So, 8,400, Nurkic. I have no problem playing Nurkic in this matchup. CJ McCollum still with that back, 7,400. No problem playing him. Again, I don't think I would play, at their prices, I don't think I'd play McCollum and Lillard in the same lineup. I think I would make a rule there. Melo's only 5,400. That's really interesting. No problem playing him. Gary Trent's got to get hot. 4,500. Seeing a bunch of minutes. 35 minutes against Memphis, put up 32 fantasy points. Brooklyn saw 36 minutes, put up 26. I did forget to talk about Zach Collins is out. So with him out, Gabriel did start, but that's where Trent got all those minutes as well. He's been seeing a bunch of minutes, but that's why he even saw any more. So if we go down here and look at Gabriel here, again, he saw a start second, 9 minutes, put up 5 fantasy points. Don't play him, but it does make it interesting for maybe Hezonius 3,800. He could be a sneaky play if he does get some minutes here. If they get up and down. I only saw 6 against Memphis, 11 against Brooklyn, but I think there's upside for tournaments. But Trent at 4,500 is probably where you're going to look at, and he's probably going to see big minutes. It's at that shooting guard position, but that's where I look at. Again, I think you're going to have a pretty tight pool again tomorrow. Again, with their minutes being pretty heavy. Holy crap. Clippers are up 18-4 already on Dallas. That's not good. But yeah, man, again, if you're follow me on if you're on Twitch, give me a follow. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button if you don't mind. Give me a follow. Subscribe. We'll keep pumping out videos. If you're not part of DFS Army, head on over there. Use promo code CashCake, save that 20% off. And we're going to keep this going. We had a big winner already today, Showdown, that TLC call that we talked about yesterday's pod. We had Sir Legend take down a single bullet DraftKings lobby Showdown, the Brooklyn game. Single bullet, took down 10K. I think he had TLC up at the captain. I'm not positive. I have to look at that lineup. But fantastic job for Sir Legend. Really happy for him. And we're just gonna keep it going, man. Again, watch out. I'm gonna do a Showdown video. Watch out for that. I'm gonna hit that up later. And then also I'm gonna record another prop bet video. And like I said, we're up 3-0 today. Hopefully we can get this Luka bet. And if we can sweep the card, I got 2 for tomorrow and maybe 1 more. I'm gonna look at the OKC side, and we will keep it going. So with that, enjoy the rest of your night watching the Clippers in Dallas, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Deuces.